You gotta be kidding me!
Welcome back to another edition of Dante's Hearthstone Rise of Shadows card reviews. We are going with Warlock right now, the 10 cards that they put in the expansion, and I'm going to be reviewing them for Constructed and Arena for your enjoyment, I hope. Anyway, and here we go. Let's just start it off. Start off low, go high here. 2 mana, 2/2, Evil Genius. Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion to add 2 random lackeys to your hand. Now, generally, a lot of times in Warlock, you have some cards that are like kind of sucky, like eggs and stuff like that. Maybe you can build around. I think some of the eggs are going away, sadly, as I like those cards. But getting 2 lackeys for 2 mana, essentially 2 lackeys that are sort of, they're 1 mana but sort of act like 2 mana cards. That's pretty good. But do you have cards that you want to destroy? A lot of times you don't, because if you build a deck around that, it kind of sucks, as I've tried. So I don't know when this necessarily works. I don't know what cards you want to destroy in order to get these lackeys. And if you don't build a deck that has sucky cards, then what are you going to do? That's my problem with it. So I think because of that, this card sucks. I think it's terrible. I'm going to give it 1.5 in Constructed. In Arena is a little bit different. Arena, you already have crappy minions because sometimes you just can't get around it. I think in Arena, it's actually pretty decent. I'm going to give it 3.5 in Arena, because I think the 2 lackeys can help you out, especially in the beginning. If you know something's dying, or it's a 1/1 or 1/2, or, you know, it just sucks anyway. Kill it, you get 2 lackeys, you sort of can come back on the board with their effects and stuff like that. So I think it's not as bad in the Arena. So next up, we have the one, the only, Rafam Scheme. Summon 1/1/1 imp. A lot of ones there. Upgrade each turn, so every turn it'd be summon 2 1/1 imps, not 2 2/2 imps, or 1 2/2 imp. So it just keeps getting more and more and more, obviously to the tune of 7. I mean, it could say 8 and 9, but you only have 7 slots on your board. So is this good? It's okay, actually, because I think they had a, was it a 4 mana? I think it was a 4 mana spell, summon 4 imps, which didn't see play, but like, you know, it was annoying still, right? And it's definitely good in Arena. So I think this card might be used in some decks. I mean, imagine it's turn 5, you just play 5 of these, right? But it sucks later on. I don't know, this is a weird card. I think it's not great, but it might be used in some decks. Is it good enough to be used? Like, you have it, if you drew it the first turn, is this good enough? Turn 3, maybe it is. I don't think so. I'm gonna give it a 2 in Constructed, but it might be used. It's kind of weird. I think in Arena, it's like, Arena is probably pretty good. I think I'm gonna give it 3.5. It might even be a 4. You know, I'm gonna give it a 4, because like you could probably fill up the board and at any time really with this, and I think that's actually pretty good in Arena, because then they either have to clear it, and then they waste their clear, and then you drop your other crap. Like, I don't know, I think it's actually all right in Arena. I'm gonna give it 4 in Arena, 2 in Constructed. Next up, we have the common 6 mana 4/6 taunt, Aranasi Broodmother. When you draw this, restore 4 health to your hero. Is this good? I don't think it's good. I know healing is a premium, but 6 mana 4/6 taunt, maybe I just can't see it. I just don't think it does enough. In a control matchup, I think this card's terrible. I think in an aggro matchup, when you're trying to get rushed down, you're probably either already dead, and even if this is on the board, 4 damage might not be enough, 6 health might not be enough anyway, and the 4 health, I don't know, does this help you enough? I don't think it does. I think this card, some people are overrating it. I'm gonna give it 2. I think in Arena, it might be a little bit better. I'm gonna give it 3 in Arena, but that's even tough, because 6 mana is still a little bit rough. At least it has a taunt tag. It is a demon, which is interesting, so there might be some synergies there. I'm not too keen on that card though. Next up, we have Plot Twist, 2 mana, shuffle your hand into your deck. draw that many cards. This card, I think, is almost always good, except for in the beginning of the game. But even then, it might be good if your hand somehow sucks. So I'm gonna give this 4.5 in constructed. That's kind of easy for me to say that. And there's some synergies with some other cards, I think, even in the neutral with this, and that's what I'm interested in. I think there's even synergies with that 3 mana 3/4 beast. Whenever you shuffle a card in your deck, it shuffles an extra one. Well, this just shuffles an extra copy of your hand, and that's awesome. I just love combo stuff that give you more cards and stuff like that. That is awesome to me. And if your hand sucks, you just do this. It's only 2 mana. It works control, it works aggro. I think maybe not as much aggro, but if you put a one-off in a deck, then just in case type deal, maybe. I think this card's really good. And I think it's actually decent in arena too, just because you're probably going to be tapping a lot in arena anyway. So in arena, you're going to be tapping a lot, and this is going to allow you to get the cards you need for the particular situation. I mean, you can sort of build your deck almost around this, like, okay, well, I know I have this card in my hand, it needs to kill a big minion, or I know I have this card, it needs to kill a small minion, so plot twist, and then you find the card or something. So I think it's actually pretty decent in arena. I'm gonna give it 4 in arena, 4.5 in constructed. I think it's just a really good card. It's sort of like a higher level type of card, a card that when you're a better player, I think you can utilize it better, and I think that's where things get interesting. Now we have a 3 mana Inferno. Give your demons +1 attack, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. This is an interesting card, and this one is tough because demons are a thing and imps are demons. So you drop your imps for 3 mana, and then you do this, and then maybe you kill your aggro opponent or something. So this is like, this works in an aggro deck against aggro decks, which might be your biggest problem. It's an interesting card, man. It's very interesting. Will demons have enough? I don't know if there will be enough demons for this to really work, but if the imps work, maybe it will be. I don't know. It's a very interesting card. I think there's gonna be some decks that use it. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think that's interesting. I don't know if it's enough. I think I'm gonna give it a 2 in arena. Obviously, if you get the true value off of this, it's amazing, but can you count on that in arena? You don't really get enough demons, but the other cards were common, so maybe you will get enough demons and this will get out of control. I don't know. That's the thing. It's kind of unforeseen in arena to see how the rates of card picking is. We'll see. 4 mana 2/2 Eager Underling, Death Rattle. Give 2 random friendly minions +2/+2. So 4 mana 2/2. You have to have 2 minions on the board. This has to die. It's not a demon. It's bad. I think this is bad. Very situational. I don't see how this is going to be used in constructed. I'm giving it a 1 in constructed. Maybe it'll be used. You can obviously kill it with some other cards, but then that's 4 mana and then 6 mana, and then you gotta, I just don't think it's very good. I think the same thing goes for arena. I think it's slightly better in arena. Slightly. Give it 1.5. I just think this is a bad card overall. It's not going to be used. Ugh, get out of here. Next up, we have a 6 mana spell, Darkest Hour. Destroy all friendly minions. For each one, summon a random minion from your deck. I just don't know how this one works. How do you make this work in your favor? It's not like you can have 1,000 eggs, because there aren't. You know, like, no one's gonna kill your egg generally. So even if you get to the 6 mana and you have like 3 eggs, what are you gonna pull? I just don't know how this works. Like, I don't know how this is good. I can't see it now. I don't know. Like, you have to get lucky, and if you build your deck around this card, how are you gonna have enough minions that aren't sucky to make this? I just don't know how this is worthwhile. I just don't see it. 1.5. And Jesus Christ, this is one of the worst arena cards I've ever seen. I mean, again, the fringe case you'd be able to use this and actually make it good. It just, I'm gonna give this a very slumpy, scrumpy half a candle here. I'm just not seeing this card doing any good. So Get out of my face. Next card. 10 mana, 8/8, Jumbo Imp. Picking up humans and squish, and picking up magnetos. Actually, these just look like magnetos. Cost 1 less whenever a friendly demon dies while this is in your hand. If this wasn't while this is in your hand, this might be okay. While it's in your hand. Now there are more demons, and this is a demon because it's an imp. Maybe that's a thing. I think in aggro decks this actually will be played because they're probably going to be playing imps, but man, this seems a little, it seems rough. I'm going to give it 3 because I do think it'll be played in the aggro decks. I do think it will be, but it has to be in your hand. I think that's the real problem here. So you just sort of have a card rotting in your hand until all your imps die, and I think that's, but then when it comes down it's like free. I don't know, that's a weird card, and I think it's 1. It's a 1 in arena. I just, again, you would need other cards to make this card good, but it's gonna be rarely picked. I just don't see that really working out too well. Giving the 3 candles on constructed is probably dumb, but I'm sticking with it. Next up we have Archvillain Rafam, the Supreme Villain. Here we go. 7 mana, 7/8. That's good stats, actually. Weirdly good stats, especially for a minion with its battle cry, and it has a taunt. So 7 mana, 7/8 taunt is just good by itself. Actually, that's just pretty decent. Battle cry, replace your hand and deck with legendaries. Well, that's interesting. So how do you make this work in your favor? Now these, it's not like it's only Warlock legendary. This is all legendaries. Now the legendary pool is shrinking but also gaining some, and it's not like it's gaining only good legendaries, because not all legendaries work with every class or every deck or every spell or whatever. So that's where I think this card is one of those weird cards where it's strangely and weirdly really balanced. It looks, if you just look at it quick, you're like, that's broken. I can't believe it. It's a 7/8 taunt, and it does all that to your hand and deck. It's not just hand, it's not just deck or whatever, it's both. Like, wow, that's broken. But then you got to think, well, wait a second. I don't think, I can't think of one now anyway. I don't think there's a minion that is removal, well, strict removal as far as a legendary. There's probably 1 or 2 that are like okay, but obviously 1 or 2 out of like 100 or whatever is not very likely. So that's why it's balanced. So it's like, okay, well, what's my next card gonna be? And then it's Khadgar, 2 mana, 2/2, that relies on summoning type of spells or minions. Well, then that sucks. What the hell are you gonna do? That does nothing to the board state. So I think this is weirdly balanced, and I think it's actually kind of bad, but it's very fun. That's where I love this card. It's awesomely fun. I'm actually gonna give this a, I think it will be played in some control matchups as sort of like a, all right, the board's like at a stalemate, it's at like 0, no one is doing anything, let's drop this, let's see if maybe I can win the game from here on out with powerful minions. And I think sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. So I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't think it's like, it has a powerful effect, but again, if you don't have like a removal for a certain type of deck, or you don't have the certain type of cards for a certain situation, it's gonna be terrible. You can just get terrible legendaries, or you can get legendaries where you have like a 6-drop legendary where you can only play one thing a turn, and that sucks. And if it's not good enough, your opponent's either gonna rush you down or do something else that, you know, makes you have to play differently, but you don't have removal because you just have these minions. So I think that's where it's balanced, but I do think it can make you win, but I think it can make you lose as well. I think in arena, that's a 5-star card, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, let's just explode some fireworks here for that one. Yeah, 5 stars in arena, not even a question. No question about it. Arena is different than constructed. You can't rely on anything. You can't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna draw my removal. No, that's not how it works in arena. Mostly minion based in arena, and that's how this works, and that's why this card is absolutely busted in arena. If you get to pick this card in arena, you 100% pick it automatically. don't even look at the other two cards. I don't care what it is. I don't care if somehow the game glitched and it gave you any card from anywhere you want, any class. It doesn't, you just pick this card over everything else. I just don't see what you'd pick over this ever. It's gotta be like, this might be the best arena card almost ever. At least up, it has to be, right? What is better than this? I don't know. I don't know what's better than this card. I mean, sure, you can lose playing this card. Like if you're already losing and you lost on the board, you drop this, then they remove this, then they go face and kill you. Like obviously, but if it's slightly neutral board state and you drop this, I don't see, like, you'd have to get literally the worst legendaries. Only Khadgars are things that just don't do enough in order to lose. Like, and it's not likely that it'll be like that. I mean, I guess it could, obviously, but damn, the value off of this is crazy. And the 7/8 taunt, oh wow, that is crazy in arena, and I love it, and I want to see it, but only when I draft it. Last but not least, 8 mana, 5/7, Fel Lord Betrug. Whenever you draw a minion, summon a copy with Rush that dies at end of turn. So what can you do with this? What's 2 mana? Oh yeah, plot twist. This card, 10 mana. Oh, it's crazy. All right, so you drop this on 10, then you drop plot twist, shuffle your hand of, let's say, 5 cards. Let's just go middle of the road. Boop, boop, boop. You draw cards, whatever minions you draw, they are on the board and they get Rush, and they die. Who cares if they die? Because you already have them in your hand again. It's not like it's summoning them and stealing them from your deck. No, and let's say if it's a death rattle deck, then they die at the end of turn. You get all that. That's awesome. I love it. I love this card. I think there's going to be some awesome things you can do with this. Some things that people aren't thinking about as far as healing and stuff like that is concerned. It's great. And it essentially, if you have minions in your deck, hopefully you have enough, like a board clear, and you get cards in your hand. Like, I don't know. I think it's awesome. I think this card is awesome. And there's going to be a lot of synergies and a lot of interesting comebacks using this card. So I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 5. And in arena, if you can get 1 turn and you draw it, maybe it's good. But I think overall in arena, not great. 5/7 for 8 mana is not great. Now you can use this on turn 10 and tap, and maybe that'll do something. But yeah, I think maybe that's the case. I'm going to give it a 3 then. I think in arena it's not as good, but it's, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. 3 seems fair. Maybe it might be better than I think it is. It all depends on your deck though, right? If you got an aggro deck that's not as great, but still it's not like you're losing the card. I don't know, it's kind of rough for arena. I think the stat line is terrible, but on turn 10 it could be a comeback mechanic. Honestly, could get some sort of crazy big minion that rushes down their big minion or something, or maybe some sort of poison minion, and then that brings you back too. Who knows? Either way, I hope you enjoyed this. So I'm doing all the classes. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think, and I will be back.